All right, so let's move on, and then we'll use the where clause to filter out these data. Okay, so as you can see, if I do this way, I just basically select all these people from this table without any filters, right? So it's just gonna select everything there. I kind of limit it to only 10 people, but if I take that off, then everything comes through, which is about 19,000 of them. Okay. So if you want to pick and choose, let's say I want to get only all the students or all the people in here that has a certain ID, for example, then you can do that. You can use the where clause. And I want to go, to not that one, the page here and the notes, just so we can see the syntax. And it's pretty extensive, but I want to show you that most of those are optionals, which means you don't have to use them. So let me go in here and turn this on. Okay, so the where clause is a conditional, has you use the conditional to do that. So here is a very simple, I guess, way to write your where clause. You put a followed by the where, and then you put your condition right next to it. But if you look at the whole syntax here, you will see it's pretty immense. So it has a lot of things to do there. If you are become a DBA someday, then you have to probably know a lot of stuff here. But for now, you just issue that command right below after the from here. Okay, in other words, you cannot suddenly put here like where up here. Okay, it does not work that way. So the rule is select something or select a column from a table, and then after that, let me just turn this up. And if you want to filter it out, then you can say where, use the where clause, okay? Where, and then what you want to do is the condition. It's like the if block, right? Or if something is true or something, they only grab that out. So that means all these data, all these columns here will only be pulled out from this table person if this condition is true. So for example, if we should say where 1 equals 1, then of course that's always true, right? Because the condition is always true, so therefore it always works. Yeah, yeah, the P should be here. So that should always work because it's always true. Okay, that's kind of no-brainer there. But if I want to say I want to pull only the people in here who maybe has a name of Ken, the first name of Ken, for example, right? So I can say I can use the statements here where the title or the name, which is first name, equals Ken. Okay. If I do that, then only those people who has the first name that exactly match the word Ken will be pulled out, retrieved. Okay, so if I execute this, you see that there are about 6 of them, right? So this is the comparison operator. Also, the assignment, we'll do that later when we use variables. But most languages use like the double equal sign, or not in SQL Server here. So equals Ken, and then you can also say, give me all these people here whose first name is greater than Ken. You use the greater operator as well, so you will compare the names based on the ASCII code of each of those characters, and then now it's going to pull all those names that are greater than Ken, and then it will pull those out. So you can see anything that less than Ken will not be shown here. So in this case, I have only 10, but if I take this out, the top 10 you see that has about 8,000 of them that are more than Ken. And you can also do less than, right? You say, what about those whose names are less than Ken? And you have about 11,000 of them, right? So less than equal to greater than You can also, well, less than or equal to can, and then now it's inclusive, right? Including cans, and plus anything else is less than him, then you see that it goes a little bit more. And if it's not equal, then you put the two brackets this way, facing each other. That's not equal to, and then it will exclude can. Basically, that's all it does, right? Excludes can. The not equal sign, you can do it this way, or I think you can also do the exclamation and equal sign. That also works too in SQL Server. You have two ways. So whichever way is convenient for you. So all these operators, equal, less than, greater than, not equal, all these can be used for text as well as numbers. Okay, you can use compare numbers also. So you can say back to the equal can. If I do it this way, if I click select and run, all the cans are here. I can also use the and or the or as a compound statement or condition here. I want to grab all the people that has the first name of Ken and right, and the last name, for example, equals Meyer. Right, I see there Meyer. So both of those have to match. Otherwise, there's nothing to be pulled, right? So in this case, I'm expecting two of them, no three, right? Or just two? Yeah, two. Okay, so if I execute, you see they have two. The AND clause operator makes it so that everything has to be true, otherwise none is true. Okay? So the AND part. Or is also a part of it. Now this way, then, yeah, I'm going to get all of them back. Okay? Not only all of them, any other last name that starts with Meyer, even though the last name is not Ken, will also be pulled out, right? So you can see that, well, so I have one Linda, I have Dorothy here, because they're not Ken, but the last name is Meyer, so therefore it gets pulled along with it as well. Okay, it's an or statement, right? Okay. And you can just leave it this way as is, or you can wrap this with parentheses if it's easier to see. Okay, that's fine. What if I want to grab grab all the people that have, in this case, Ken and Linda and Dorothy, for example. And or, right? Or all of them. So you could say something like Ken, first name is Ken, or first name is Linda, right? Or first name, not first value, name equals Dorothy. I'm gonna say Jim. I'm not sure if it's in here or not. I'm just guessing. Okay. So let's say I want to grab any of these people here with one of these names. Okay, so I get about 56 of them. So Jim is in there. Interesting. Okay, so you can use the or this way. If they are in this situation, then what you can do is you can also shorten this by using the keyword in. So I can rewrite this. Let me copy this and put it down here. Okay, I can say, I can do this, replace that, put a comma here. It's like a list of all these names where the first name in that list. Okay, so these two things are equivalent. One has more codes, one has less. Okay, it's going to compare the first name and it's going to look in the list here. If it matches any one of these, then pull that out. If it doesn't match it, skip it and move to the next one. Okay, so as you can see, if I run these two statements here, I will get two results windows, right? So one on the top, one on the bottom, and they should be equivalent. Okay, so 56th row. So that's another way to shorten your code from using a lot of ORs by using the in operator. And then you can also, keep doing that. First in there, and then you can say and last in, and then you keep going if you want, right? It just gets complicated, but you can do that. You can also say things like, let me just write down here. Okay, let me just do it this way. It likes to put it this way. I want to get all the names, first name that start with K, right? So you can use the word like. This is a special operator, okay, to grab all the names, first name like, and then you will use, like, for example, or if I do this way, right? If I do it this way, then it's going to grab pretty much just like Ken, right? You get Ken back, you get 6 of them, all the Kens. If I want to, let's see, if I go here, what about if there's a, if I want to know, grab all the first names that start with K. Right, if I do that, of course, there's probably none. Well, I mean, just that part. That is none because there's no name with K. But start with K, and then there's a special character with the called the % symbol. This % is a wildcard. So starting with K, it must start with K, and then the rest could be anything. Okay, so it can grab anything after that, and then pull all those out. So now if I run this, you're going to have a lot of results, right? Kevin, Ken. But if you look at this list here, it's all the K's. So this is, you can sort it. You can, if your boss or yourself, you want to grab all the people that start with the letter K, then you do that. Okay. Or you can say, well, it has to be KE, and then the rest doesn't matter. So you put a letter there, and then now all the KEs are come, and then you see that I have shortened that to over 300. Okay, so the wildcard is really useful. And you can say also, like, I want to start everything, the name that start with anything doesn't matter, but must have an E in there, right? And then after that, it could be anything, like Ben, Fred, Joan, whatever, right? So that's going to be a lot, because I'm pretty sure that's put E in there. You can see that's a lot of them, about 10,000. They put like, I want to have like, for example, RR, because I see Terry here. If put like something, RR, something after that, then it's going to limit to that, all those names that have a double R in their names next to each other. So you can play with this. This is quite interesting. So you put R and you put a %R, and now that's completely different, right? So something with R and something again with R and something. So that's going to be a long list again. Okay, so just make sure you use the keyword like here. If you put equals that, it's not going to work. It's assumed this is a text literal, so it's going to assume that's going to be a part of the name, so therefore it doesn't work, right? So it has to be the word like. Okay. And if you want to say, I want everything, all the names that ends with a letter K. Okay, it must end with K. So, for example, Derek, and then that can pull all those names that ends with the letter K. Okay. And then I want to talk about the word null here. You see, the title is null. So null is a really tricky value in SQL Server. When you want to check for null, because null is not actually a text. Okay, it's not a string of text. So you can't say, for example, if I want to get like get all the title. If I put equal null, like that, okay, you see that this none has the word null, even though you just saw null in there. Let's say, okay, what about maybe it's a string null, right? If you do that as well, you see it still gets none. Okay? Int?
Yeah.
Oh, n?
It thinks that it's a number.
Oh no, yeah. You would think, right? No, although title is, yeah, the title is, it can't be an int, right? It has to be a string. Okay, so when you check for null, just make sure you use the keyword is, okay, and not the equal sign. and that is the trick here. So give me all the null only. So the null is not a string. It's a value, but you cannot compare with the equal sign. Okay, you have to use the keyword is. Title is null or title is not null, right? I can't say I cannot do this, right? Not null. This will, I don't think it will pull that one. Let's see, it doesn't work. Okay? So either you have to use the English words. It's null or it's not null. Then now it will pull all the names that has a title other than null. So you can see that has all the legal titles are in there. All the empty ones with the nulls are not pulled. So that's the tricky one. When you do a comparison, just make sure you remember the is and the is not. But I can't do this though. Let's see. Let's see if it does that. As you can see, it does not allow is not or is Mr. either, right? So that only works for the null value. So we got that where clause did not operator, the end operator exists here. We will revisit this later. Exist is kind of a bit tricky because usually you use that for like in other situation we have the subquery. As you can see in this example, I have a query inside another query, so we call this a subquery. And sometimes this is required or needed to get data from another table or another subtable. I mean within the same table, but as a different query. So we'll revisit it later.